Welcome in to the Punt and Pass podcast. I'm your host, Drew Butler, joined alongside my co-host, Jake Fromm. Be sure to follow us on social media. We are at Punt and Pass on X and Instagram. I'm at Drew Butler. He's at Fromm Jake. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, at Punt and Pass on YouTube, youtube.com/Punt and Pass. Puntandpass.com, the number one destination for all things college football. Holy cow, it's already week 8 of the college football season, and do we have an absolutely packed slate of action coming up for you this Saturday. That's why you tune in to Punt and Pass right here to get you ready for college football weekends. How are you, Jake Fromm? What's going on,
man? I'm doing good, living the absolute dream. Weather,
Yeah,
I
you
think,
are.
has finally turned, and it's legit going to stay
Okay.
cool from here on out. So
You're
excited
making
about
that claim. It's
I am
done.
making that claim.
All right, thank you.
Summer's gone. The real fall is finally here. It's going to be an awesome atmosphere in Athens this Saturday. So I'm geared up for that game, and man, ready to dive in and talk about these other games as well.
We got a bunch of games. We got a bunch of news and notes. The college football Twitter sphere is popping off like crazy. Rumors are flying around. Obviously, James Franklin, Penn State's head coach, got fired on Sunday. We broke that down for you. Could it set off a chain reaction? That's certainly what it seems like. Of course, we will dive into all of that. And then just going through these games. I mean, we usually talk about 5 games. I've got like 10 written down on the show rundown. Of course, you know what's happening in Athens. Number 5, Ole Miss at number 9, Georgia. How about this one? LSU at Vanderbilt. We'll talk about that briefly, but if Vanderbilt goes off as a favorite, which they are right now,
wow,
it will be the first time Vandy is favored over LSU since 1948. Unbelievable
1948.
Stuff. Third Saturday in October. That means
Wow.
Tennessee and Alabama. Missouri takes their first true road trip of the season at Auburn. USC Notre Dame. Tech at Duke. The Holy War. We got it all. That's why you're right here on Punt and Pass. So I'm fired up. You ready to dive into this thing?
Dude, let's do it.
All right. First things first, this episode of Punt and Pass presented to you by our awesome partners over at Prize Picks. Yes, indeed. The NBA is right around the corner. Soon enough, you'll blink and you'll have college basketball back, but it's the thick of football season, college football, NFL football. Prize Picks has it all. Major League Baseball playoffs, golf is still going on. That's why you go to Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app, use the promo code PUNT, and when you play your first $5 entry, you get $50 instantly, win or lose. It's yours. I promise you it's yours. Plug in the promo code PUNT, play a $5 entry, boom, $50 in your account, win or lose. And I saw this last weekend because, you know, I follow Prize Picks at Prize Picks on social media. I check out prizepicks.com. They're everywhere. You should too. The free-to-play jackpot's still going on. Heading into Monday Night Football, Bills and Falcons, of which I was at.
Yeah.
6 people.
You were at that game?
6 people had a chance to win $1 million. 6 people had a chance to win $1 million on Prize Picks. And again, it's the free-to-play jackpot. So don't forget to jump in and make your picks in the free-to-play contest. Members compete each and every week to win from a $1 million pot by choosing the correct first touchdown scores from select NFL games. Prize Picks is live for week 7 now. That is free to play. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code PUNT. Sports plus Prize Picks equals cash for you. Use the promo code PUNT, your first $5 entry. You get $50 instantly. I'll give you the DB3 piece later on in the show. Feeling really good about this week. Jake, I gave out a all kicker Prize Picks on Sunday.
Yeah.
It hit like midway through the second quarter.
Wow.
I know
You're just on it. You're on fire.
I know what I'm doing.
Are you heating
fire.
up?
Heating up, coach. You know the drill. I am heating up. And today's episode of Punt and Pass is brought to you by Umberto Injury Law. If you've been hurt in an accident and need a team that fights for you like we fight on the field, Umberto Injury Law is here for you. Umberto and his team know what it takes to win, and they'll stand by your side every step of the way. Visit UmbertoInjuryLaw.com or call them 770-888-8901. 770-888-8901. I called that number. Umberto won for me. That's why he is mi amigo. Umberto is the best, proud partner of the Punt and Pass podcast, the #1 personal injury and workers' comp attorney in Atlanta. He's not one of those guys that's on the coast, big elite guy. No. He is in Atlanta. He will fight and win for you, just like he did for me. UmbertoInjuryLaw.com or call them 770-888-8901. I'm sure Umberto will be in Athens this weekend. It is a huge weekend. Let's go to first down. Number 9, Georgia hosts number 5, Ole Miss in Athens. College game day is in town. Fowler and Herbie will be on the call. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. Atmosphere should be electric. Kirby Smart in his Monday press conference already challenging the fan base, which I always love. I do just have one thing to say, though. Is Herbstreit's dog going to be on the field with Uga? Is that allowed? It probably is allowed. That will be happening. I don't know. I'm like I guess I'm like an old timer now, Jake. I think Uga is the only dog that should be on Dooley Field.
I am glad you brought that up because that was my instant thought was no, that should not be allowed because it is Uga's field. Man.
Yeah, it's his house. That's
and
his dojo.
As you know, dogs are very territorial, especially boy dogs, right?
You're right. Yes.
And I don't know. I just don't think it's a good fit. Don't think it's a good look. However harmless it may be.
Yeah. And he will be on the field. Let's just get that very clear. He was on the field last
time.
Yeah, last time I think Fowler and Herbstreit called the Saturday night Tennessee game a year ago, late in the season. I was down there, and so was Peter, the dog. So he'll get his field pass, and he'll be running around. So more power to him. The forecast does look awesome. Let's kick things off with this challenge from Kirby Smart. He took the podium on Monday, and he made no bones about it, Jake. 3:30 kickoff, undefeated top 5 opponent coming to Sanford Stadium. We need our crowd's help. Roll it, Jared.
With that, I would turn to looking forward, and I want to open by thanking our fans that were in Auburn. I thought they were incredible. There were times that, late in the game, I really thought that we had an impact in terms of that end zone, the turnout, the kind of the passion and energy they showed at the end of the game and after the game, and that leads into my comments about this week. We need the best atmosphere we've ever had in Sanford Stadium. I got a lot of respect for Lane. He does an incredible job. Probably one of the best things he does is in-game coaching, having coached with him and watched him for years. His impact on the quarterback and the offensive play and ability to communicate with the quarterback, whether it's by headset or by sideline, he does a great job of getting the quarterback's attention and getting them in the right plays based on looks. Probably better than anybody else in the country. He and his staff do that. I won't give him all the credit, but he does an unbelievable job, and we need to make that extremely difficult. So the issue and the challenge has been issued for our fan base to be extremely difficult for them to communicate and do things offensively that they do, especially at home, and sometimes on the road when it's not the right environment. With that, I'll open it up.
All right. So no confusion there. A direct challenge to the fans. He also said he's got a lot of respect for Lane Kiffin. That respect might have gone down just a little bit. We'll get to some chirping that Kiffin gave towards Kirby, 2 longtime friends, of course. I think they spend a lot of time with each other whenever they can in the offseason. But, Jake, this is an interesting matchup, man. 2 years ago, Ole Miss came to Athens. Georgia blew them out. Last year, Ole Miss returned the favor. The Dogs got smoked in Oxford. Ole Miss has all the momentum.
Yep.
This is one of the games that they just have not been able to win and get over the hump, not specifically against Georgia, but those kind of season-determining wins to say, we're here and we're for real. Let's break it down. Kirby said Lane's very good with the quarterbacks. That is no more evident than what's happening now with Trinidad Chambliss, a transfer quarterback who wasn't even in Oxford during the spring. He's tearing it up. This is going to be a good one, man. The Dogs are a 7.5-point favorite, which is just crazy to me.
Yeah, do they know something that we don't? Because
Surely
I think
they
this
do.
is going to be an absolute just brawl. Could possibly be another shootout like we saw against Tennessee. As explosive as Ole Miss is and what they do offensively, what Lane's cooking up, he's going to have some really, really good stuff cooked up. And I don't know, man, this could easily be a shootout well into the fourth quarter. 7.5 point favorite. I don't know. Like I'm obviously feeling optimistic for a win,
Right.
but by 7.5 points, I think is a bit of a stretch. But man, those guys are good at their job and they get paid too. And I don't know. They always come up with something.
So when I talk to you, whether it be pregame or postgame on Atlanta News First, A&F Game Time and Overtime, or during texting throughout a game, or standing on the sideline with you during a game, I always love getting your thoughts on what the opposing offenses are doing to our defense in real time, what you're seeing. You are extremely accurate. That's not a surprise. Breaking down pre-snap stuff, breaking down formation stuff, knowing where the opposing offensive coordinators are going to go. I say all that to say this. Knowing Georgia's defense deficiencies currently, I feel like Lane Kiffin has got a really good thumb on how he could expose Glenn Schumann and Kirby Smart's defenses, given the tape that they're able to break down. And to me, being as pragmatic as I possibly can, Ole Miss's offense seems like one that could really make hay against Georgia's defense, which gives me some cause for concern. Do you feel that way as well?
Yeah, I definitely feel that way. It just seems that Lane can always, cook something up, and that the dual threat ability from their quarterback is kind of a big deal. It's always been a hiccup for any Georgia defense under Coach Smart throughout his entire tenure. So I think using the quarterback's legs, Lane telling him, don't be afraid to extend plays. Don't give the ball away, but don't be afraid to extend plays. I think they have to set some type of physicality in the run game. And then I think it's a ton of play action pass. The best players on Georgia's defense are the linebackers, Raylan Wilson and CJ Allen. So put them in as much stress as you possibly can where they're thinking. Don't let those guys go just play, mind blank and just reacting. If they're playing like that, it's going to be a very good day for Georgia's defense. That's obviously what we want. However, if I'm in the mind of Lane Kiffin here, I'm saying, hey, how can I put these guys in conflict? How can I distract their eyes so much? And how can I make them a half step slower? And that will make them all the difference. And then show them something early in the game like they've never seen before, only just to give Georgia and Glenn Schumann something to talk about on the sideline, and then never do it again throughout the entire game. But just to do that, so they have to cover on the sideline, take up all that precious time and minutes, and then never do it and don't care about it. It's just to kind of just throw a little jab at Georgia,
Kind of like what they did against Texas last year in Austin with those double barrel blitzes, all the shifts on the line pre-snap. Quinn Ewers did not know what was going on. Then Arch Manning came in. He looked even more confused, and Georgia's defense just wreaked havoc through the first half of that game. I think the Dogs are up 23-0 at halftime in Austin, and it was those wrinkles that Schumann and Kirby hadn't shown all season long. I wouldn't say that they saved them for that matchup, but they obviously cooked something up. They saw something on tape, and they got an opportunity to confuse Texas' offense. I think it's a great opportunity for Georgia to do that this weekend. I do want to say one thing, because you mentioned Raylan Wilson and CJ Allen. And Trinidad Chambliss, Ole Miss's quarterback, is the definition of a dual threat. Right now, through 6 games that he's played, almost 1,300 passing yards, 7 passing touchdowns, almost 300 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. That's just the quarterback. Kewan Lacey, the running back, one of the best in the SEC, almost 600 yards rushing, 8 rushing touchdowns. Ole Miss can hit you in a variety of ways. So when you talk about Raylan Wilson and CJ Allen, I would compare it to the Atlanta Falcons. And here's where I'm going with this. Okay. The Atlanta Falcons for years have had no pass rush. Then they invest in their pass rush this year. Jalen Walker from Georgia, James Pierce Jr. from Tennessee. They get Leonard Floyd in as well, who's obviously very established as a pass rusher in the NFL. And when Monday night comes around and you got the reigning MVP, Josh Allen, who can pull it, tuck it, and run, you have got to, one, contain him, two, affect him and keep him in the pocket. And the Falcons actually did a very good job on Monday night, not allowing Allen to take over the game with his legs. He made mistakes. He threw 2 picks. He wasn't able to have the ability. And I think Divine Diablo, the Falcons linebacker, was in some spy situations and just kept him in there. Georgia's got to do the exact same thing. Watch the tape. Watch the tape of Georgia's defense. There has not been one guy who has taken over this season and said, I'm the dude that's going to get the quarterback. And oftentimes, which is frustrating and maddening to a lot of Georgia fans, when they do affect the quarterback, they don't get him in the ground, and then the play's extended with the QB's legs. That cannot happen this weekend. I don't know what the remedy is in season, but I love your idea, Jake. Show them something different. You don't have to run it 5, 10, 15 times throughout the game, but get them confused, get them thinking. That could be a really good way to throw a wrinkle in early and maybe have Lane Kiffin second guessing what his initial game plan was.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the spy coverage and that spy scheme, I think that is something to mix in and wrinkle, especially in these third and medium to long situations, second and long, obvious passing down situations. And that's a great thing to keep him honest and to keep the quarterback thinking that, hey, I don't have a get out of jail free card because I have a guy that is making a beeline to me as soon as I leave this pocket. And the most important thing in containing a quarterback, everybody thinks it's the defensive ends, right? And not, going inside or running around the quarterback or running
gap integrity from your 3 techniques.
Exactly. And if they have to push the pocket and get in the backfield and make it feel like that quarterback has nowhere to go, no lane, make sure they are staying in their gaps and in their lanes and not giving an easy push up in the pocket and push through for some easy yards to get.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So that's going to be one thing that everybody should tune and dial into beginning of the game. When Georgia dials up some pressures, you have got to maintain your integrity of the gaps that you're assigned to and make it feel like Trinidad Chambliss has nowhere to go. Let's flip to Georgia's offense. It's been, I would assume, very pleasing for a lot of Georgia fans to see how Gunner Stockton has played, especially on some extremely hostile road environments. Gunner Stockton took the podium on Monday, talked about the Auburn game, talked about moving forward and playing another top 10 opponent, thankfully, this time at home. Roll it, Jared.
Yeah, I think our offense, we never quit. We're resilient, and we did what we had to do to win the ball game. And this team, we never quit. We're hard to put away, and I think that's the best part about our offense. Yeah, I think definitely having some games under your belt, definitely away games will help, and I think it's grown my confidence a lot. It's like, hey, they got you back, and we got to respond. So I'm definitely excited for Ole Miss. They've got really great players, and it'll be another great SEC opponent, and we're really looking forward to it. Yeah, just having the experience going to Tennessee in some of those games, and just having those games under my belt, it's definitely changed me. We're definitely excited for Ole Miss, and it'll be a great environment, great SEC game. I think going on the road in the SEC is hard, and it definitely heck, anywhere you go in the SEC, it's going to be hard. So it'll give you a lot of confidence. They get after the quarterback, and they got a lot of great guys on defense, and we're excited for the challenge. Yeah, Coach Smart, he definitely he's awesome on the sideline. He brings the fire, passion, energy every day. So I think that's what makes him special.
Let me just challenge our listeners to do one thing. Go to YouTube. After you subscribe to Punt and Pass, go to the search bar, type in Mike Winchell Friday Night Lights. The quarterback from the movie Friday Night Lights is Gunner Stockton. The way they talk, their mannerisms, it's hilarious to me. It's the only thing I can see and visualize when Gunner Stockton talks to the media. It's great. It's perfect. It fits exactly, I think, what this team needs. He just recited Coach Smart's line right there of fire, passion and energy. He gives flowers to everybody else. He's extremely respectful. He's soft-spoken. But I tell you what, Jake, on the field, He's a dog, and he's going to have to be on Saturday. It'll be good for him to get back home. But, man, when you have the confidence of the guys around you on both sides of the ball, coming back seemingly every single game, when things are just going as wrong as they possibly could, and you've got the positivity and the perseverance to say, hey, it's okay, we're going to get back in this game. That right there is something you can't teach.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime I hear Gunner speak, I'm like, man, what just an awesome and good human being, right? I mean, just an absolute good person. And he's that way all the time.
Yeah.
And then he steps on the football field and he's still that good person. But like you said, he's a dog, and he kind of flips that switch a little bit, and he's super competitive. He gets after it, and he just throws his entire body out on the line for the dog's success. And so he just, man, that's just the way he is. And I think he's just genuine and authentic. And that's what everybody loves about him, respects about him.
Yeah.
And that's what they buy into. He's not trying to
authenticity.
He's not trying to be anybody. He's not. He's going to play ball. He's going to compete, and he's going to just dish all the flowers, all the good, all the praise to somebody else. And it's just, hey, let's go move on to the next game. And that's what he's doing. He's focusing on this one and what he can do to help this team win.
Yeah, his unapologetic authenticity. And unapologetic might not be the right adjective in that phrase. Usually if you're unapologetic, you're like brash or cocky, but he just is who he is, and it ain't ever going to change. So always fun to see. Quickly, Jake, I do want to get to one more clip. In 30 seconds, tell us what Georgia's offensive game plan should be. Do you think that they know their identity now and they're going to go in there and ground and pound it and just try to get the play action pass working?
Yeah, hopefully they take the magic pill and they can start fast. I think they have to get back to the ground game that they had so much success in doing in all these other football games, except for Auburn in the first half. And they have to get their playmakers the touches they need early in the game to get everybody flowing, right? The playmakers, the receivers, they want to feel like they are a part of the football game. The best way to do that,
tight ends.
Yeah, man. Hey, let's get Branch right on a jet sweep. Let's get Dylan Bell on a screen pass. Hey, let's throw a hitch route to Colby Young.
Get him involved.
Let's just get everybody involved, make them feel like they touched it, and in this football game.
I like that. I like that a lot. All right, you heard Kirby Smart earlier say he's got a ton of respect for Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin, in only the fashion that Lane Kiffin can. First off, gets a totally bizarre question from the media on his Monday press conference, and he gives quite possibly the most perfect Lane Kiffin answer. Jared, play it.
Off the wall question. You and Kirby, probably some of the more demonstrative coaches on the field. Who do you think burns more calories in a game, you or him?
I don't know. That's a good question. I walked by the TV and saw his press conference today, so it don't look like he's burned too many calories.
I mean, shots fired. I mean, just hilarious. Kirby sent a text message after seeing that. At least some group chats of those coaches were firing off because that was hilarious.
Yeah, something's going on. You got to give Kiffin a lot of credit for his delivery, because as soon as he got the question, it was almost like he planted the question almost, It's like as soon as he got the question, he knew where he was going with that. And then he kind of played it on. It's like, I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I don't know. I mean, I was watching the TV, and Kirby looked pretty fat on TV. Like you got to give him credit for the delivery. That was pretty good.
Absolutely hilarious. Well, it's safe to say Kirby Smart and Lane Kiffin have got some pretty good job security right now. That's not exactly the case down in Gainesville. Florida dropped a game to Texas A&M last week. Now they're hosting Mississippi State, and some news broke earlier this week about the future of head coach Billy Napier down in the Swamp. Pull this tweet up here because I want to give correct credit to Matt Hayes at Matt Hayes CFB. He reports that sources are indicating Florida Athletic Director Scott Strickland met with influential boosters on Tuesday, and the result, Gators coach Billy Napier could be fired as soon as this weekend. Wow. This is shocking to me. Yes, Florida does have a bye week next week, as does Georgia, gearing up for Georgia-Florida down in Jacksonville on November the 1st. But Jake, something just tells me I don't think they make that decision before the Georgia-Florida game. However, as we talked about on Monday, that James Franklin firing at Penn State could set off a chain reaction to where these athletic directors want to get in front of potential candidates. And you're seeing some names thrown around, not only for the Penn State job, but for the Florida job as well. What about Lane Kiffin? What about Lincoln Riley, getting him down in the SEC, pulling him away from Southern Cal? Kurt Signetti at Indiana. He would be a character in the SEC. Marcus Freeman's name at Notre Dame. The schools like Florida and Penn State and potentially some others are the ones that will take the biggest swings, especially if they fire their coaches midseason.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, this is kind of out of the blue, surprising. They beat Texas, played in a pretty good game, I thought, against Texas A&M. You know, like they were in it. They had a chance.
Yeah.
And
lost
then,
to LSU by 10 after throwing 5 interceptions.
Yeah, and that was on the road as well. The only thing that I can come up with that's logical is like, hey, let's go ahead and start talking about this and fire him so we don't give him the chance to beat Georgia and keep his job.
Yeah, that's a good point. I had not thought about that.
You know,
You're
so
exactly right.
yes, the chain reaction of all these coaches. Hey, somebody gets fired. Maybe Florida wants to go try to take a swing at James Franklin. I don't know. There's other people to take a swing at, you know, like the guys that you mentioned, but maybe they don't want to give him a chance to beat Georgia because, as we've seen over the past 2 seasons, Napier seems to do his best work when his absolute back is against the wall, and he has to come out swinging, and he delivers a haymaker.
Yeah.
So, and if there's a year to beat Georgia,
it's this year.
I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what? They also have Ole Miss in Oxford, November 15th. Like if he won that game last year, he upended Ole Miss this season.
Yeah.
I mean, that right there would be one where Napier makes a great case and the AD and the boosters are stuck between a rock and a hard place. So we will keep tabs on that, certainly. Speaking of that game, November 15th, Florida, Ole Miss. If you take a look at the SEC standings as it is right now, heading into week 8, Jared, pull this graphic up on the screen. This tells you right here there could be some massive chaos in the final weeks of the season. At the top right now, undefeated in SEC play, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and Alabama. Georgia, LSU, and Tennessee are also – Alabama does have one conference loss. Georgia, LSU, and Tennessee have one conference loss as well. Texas has 2. Missouri still has one conference loss. Oklahoma still has one conference loss. Vanderbilt still has one conference loss. The SEC currently has 10 teams inside the top 25, Jake. A lot of these teams are going to play each other down the stretch. It could get messy here, buddy. Quickly, what's your SEC championship prediction?
I think it's going to be super, super messy. I think there's going to, if any team makes it with one loss, I will be super surprised. I think there's going to be almost like a 6-way tiebreaker with 2 losses. And it comes down to whatever that tiebreaker is. I started kind of scanning through all these schedules to see who had the easiest schedule remaining. And each of these teams up there at the top, from Texas up, Missouri up, actually, I mean, they all have to play, let's just say, 2 high caliber football teams that are ranked, you know, from Texas higher. So this is a tough one. This is going to get dicey. Somehow, some way, I feel like Alabama's going to weasel their way in there. And I think this could be a year for A&M, could be a year for Ole Miss. I think if Georgia wins out, they control their own destiny. But I just don't think anybody gets in there. And if they do, man, they absolutely earned it with 1 loss or less.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, A&M, for example, they still have to go at LSU, at Missouri, at Texas. So giddy up. It's going to get messy. Thanks so much, Jared.
Don't sleep on Missouri, man.
No, of course not. I mean,
do not sleep on Missouri, and don't sleep on Tennessee either.
I know, dude. I'm telling you. Watch out, though. Missouri, I think they could lose to Auburn this weekend. Just saying. Let's do our Prize Picks DB 3-piece. So much to talk about, so much to get ready for. The board is just loaded over on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code PUNT. When you play your first $5 entry, you get $50, win or lose. it's yours. Sports plus Prize Picks equals cash for you. How about this? They're just giving stuff away on the board. If you're listening to this, pull up your app or download it immediately and plug this in. First pick, it's the night game. Joey Aguilar, Tennessee quarterback, more than a half a passing touchdown.
Wow.
More than a half a passing touchdown for Joey Aguilar. You know he's going to get his. That's the first pick on the DB3 piece. The second pick and the third pick are both in the Georgia Ole Miss game. I'm going running back heavy. Chauncey Bowens, Georgia running back, more than 44.5 rushing yards. And Kejuan Lacey, more than a half a rushing or receiving touchdown. That's the DB3 piece this week. It's straightforward. It's simple. It will win. Joey Aguilar, Tennessee quarterback, more than a half a passing touchdown. Chauncey Bowens, Georgia running back, more than 44.5 rushing yards. Kejuan Lacey, Ole Miss running back, more than a half a rushing and receiving touchdown. $50 wins $162.50. I will post it on social media at Drew Butler at Punt and Pass. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code PUNT. When you play your first $5 entry, you get $50 instantly. Shout out to Prize Picks. Hey, when we break down football, it's all about the details. Every route, every block, every read. Umberto Injury Law takes the same approach with their clients. They leave nothing to chance and make sure you get the outcome you deserve. Visit UmbertoInjuryLaw.com today to learn more or call them at 770-888-8901. If you need them immediately, call them 770-888-8901. UmbertoInjuryLaw.com. This episode of Punt and Pass brought to you by mi amigo, Umberto. All right, let's go inside the five. So many games. We'll start in Athens. We broke it down. Now it's time to give you our pick. Number 5, Ole Miss at number 9, Georgia. 3:30 p.m. kick on ABC. The Dogs are a 7.5 point favorite. The total here, Jake, 54.5 points.
Oh man, I think this is going to be a shootout. I definitely take the over in this one. I would take the Dogs given the spread. I think it's going to be a close game. I think this is going to be Tennessee just at home. I really do. I think it's going to be just like that football game. I do. I think this game's going to be guns a-blazing. I can see Georgia taking a shot early in this football game. Kirby said he wants the crowd involved. He's already issued that challenge. The best way to get the crowd up and on their feet is by a big splash play early and to start fast, right? What's the game they started the fastest? It was the Tennessee game. And why did they do that? Because they took a shot early and they connected on that shot, put the ball in Gunner's hands, and let him take care of the rest. Gunner has to come out, play excellent defense, has to get to the quarterback, but also contain him. He's an excellent football player. Make it loud so Lane can't speak in that headset on third down. So, give me Dogs. I think this is going to be an excellent football game, though.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd impact cannot be understated in this game. We talked about that podcast that Lane Kiffin was on with Kirk Herbstreit a couple weeks ago, and he was just saying how vital the in-helmet communication has been for him and his quarterback, Trinidad Chambliss, who wasn't even there in the spring. And the guy's lighting it up. So Lane Kiffin is just chirping his ear off until that play clock gets down to 15 seconds and the microphone gets cut off. That will be a big factor in this game. The crowd can also affect the offensive line. We know that. But just having that extra juice in the stadium will be huge. I kind of look at it the other way, Jake. Yes, take a shot. Yes, get a chunk play. But keep the ball out of Ole Miss's offense's hands. Slow the game down. Run on first. I know people don't like that. Run on second if it's 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. Get to third and manageable. Get a first down. I think you play keep away from Ole Miss's offense. I think you assert your dominance on the lines of scrimmage, and you let them know you're here to play your style of football. Georgia blasted Ole Miss 2 years ago. I mean, it wasn't even close. It was like 52-17. Ole Miss returned the favor a year ago. You know what Ole Miss wants to do. This is on the defense. I truly believe this game is on Georgia's defense. You cannot allow Ole Miss to have a fast start. You cannot allow Ole Miss to have a fast start. If Ole Miss gets the ball first and they carve up Georgia's defense and go down the field and score a touchdown, it will just be demoralizing to everybody. But that is where the challenge of the fan base comes in play, where Kirby says, I need you, right? If we do get quieted down right off the bat, we got to have you guys jump right back up on your feet. So I think this comes down to the defense. I like the under in this game, under 54.5. And the line just stinks to high heavens. Like, what on earth? Why is Georgia favored by 7.5 points? I watch every play of Georgia. Why? I've seen a lot of Ole Miss. Why? So I'll go with Georgia. Georgia wins by 10 points. It just makes no sense. And those are the ones where everybody probably will be on Ole Miss, I would think. I'll find out more on Friday. But I'm going to go with Georgia here at home. They've been in this spot more often. I think the crowd can play a big part of it. I'm rolling with the dogs. Under 54.5, I'm laying 7.5. All right, quickly, 10th ranked LSU at 17th ranked Vanderbilt. This is the noon game on ABC. Vandy, again, a 2.5 point favorite. The total 48.5. If Vandy closes as a favorite, it'll be the first time they've been favored over LSU since 1948. Just incredible.
Yeah, the Tigers have kind of fizzled out a little bit, man, after they beat Clemson to start the season. Everybody was high and they were hot on the LSU Tigers. And then after we saw the demise of Clemson, we're like, ooh, maybe that win against Clemson wasn't as good as we thought. However, I think this is LSU here in this football game. Vandy, after they played Bama, you can kind of see a couple holes in what they're doing and what they're about. I still think LSU is just a better football team. I can't say better coach football team, but I can say they're a physically better football team, and they have the better quarterback.
I'm going with Vanderbilt. They're coming off a bye. They're at home. I think this could be one of those games where Brian Kelly's just scratching his head. Diego Pavia should be able to get his. I mean, you could make the argument easily that LSU has way more dudes than Vanderbilt, but it's an interesting spot. I like Vandy here. I'll lay the 2.5. Vandy wins by a field goal. Third Saturday in October. This one is a night game. 11th ranked Tennessee at 6th ranked Alabama. 7:30 p.m. on ABC. Alabama is a 7.5 point favorite. The total here, 58.5 points.
Alabama, 7-point favorite in this football game?
Yep.
Give me Tennessee in this one, man. I think even though Tennessee's kind of had the edge in this matchup as of late, why not, man? I think after watching Tennessee play Georgia, they should have beaten Georgia, and that was to their own demise, and the way they handled that situation and trying to get on the right hash and burn the clock. I think they're battle tested, and they've had two close SEC games here lately.
Mississippi State in overtime, and then winning by 3 against Arkansas last week.
Yep. And so I don't know. I think they're battle tested. They're ready to roll. Alabama just played a tough game against Missouri, but I'm just really liking this Tennessee offense, and I think they can put a lot of points on the board.
Okay. Kalen DeBoer, 0-1 against Tennessee. Tennessee has won the last 2 games against Alabama. This rivalry, notoriously streaky. I think Josh Heupel likes going up against Alabama. I think Josh Heupel is going to cook something up here as well. I like the Vols in this game. I think Joey Aguilar can get his. I think Tennessee knows that if they get punched, they can punch right back. Going to be a raucous atmosphere. Cannot wait to tune into that one. But you and I are on the same side there. I'm rolling with Tennessee. Give me those 7.5 points. Here's the game that I have circled. The SEC Network game at 7:45 p.m. 16th ranked Missouri at Auburn. Missouri is a 1.5 point favorite. The total is 43.5. This is the first time Missouri will get on a plane to travel this season. It's week 8. They've had one away game. It was in Kansas City when they played Kansas. They got on the buses. They went over there. This is Missouri's first true road game of the season. This is Auburn's second home SEC game. The crowd looked electric a week ago. I think Auburn wins this football game. How about this, Auburn? Don't turn the ball over. No stupid penalties. You win the football game. I think that's the situation this weekend in Auburn.
I have such mixed feelings about this game because do I think Missouri is the better football team? Yes, I definitely think that. But I think Auburn needs this win and this game so bad. I mean, I think I'm going to zig when you zag here, and I'm going to go Missouri. But just in my heart, I just think Auburn needs this game so bad. And they've come so close. And maybe they're heartbroken, and maybe they have no answers. But I really think I'm going to stick to my guns here. I said earlier in the pod that I think Missouri is a very good football team. Don't underestimate them.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to stick to Missouri here on this one. And I still cannot believe they have not traveled.
It's crazy. That's crazy. Absolutely
That's
insane.
nuts.
Yeah,
Week 8?
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
nuts.
yeah. Isn't that wild? Quickly, I got a bunch of games here. We usually just do 5, but let's just go rapid fire.
Yeah.
20th ranked Southern Cal at 13th ranked Notre Dame, 7:30 p.m. kick on NBC. Notre Dame is a massive 9.5-point favorite. The total here much higher, 61.5. Remember that Pope statistic I gave you? Notre Dame has lost 3 regular season games every year, unfortunately, that we've lost to Pope. This is the only other game that they could lose, Jake. I'm going to go with USC here. I'm going with USC. Lincoln Riley, up and down, a little bit inconsistent. I think USC can go in there, score some points. Notre Dame's quarterback is balling as well. I'm going with a gut feeling here. Watch out for Southern Cal this weekend, especially with Lincoln Riley's name getting thrown around some of these coaching conversations. He wants to make some money as well. Give me the Trojans.
Well, I think a lot for the same reason. Give me Notre Dame in this football game, even though USC now dominated Michigan last week and kind of put it to them and put their name and Lincoln Riley back on the map and said, hey, we're here to play. But I think Notre Dame, I mean, their 2 losses were top 5 ranked losses now. It was A&M, and then it was Miami.
Those great game against A&M too, and a great game against Miami. Yes,
yeah, it was by a total of 5, 6, maybe 7 points. Yep. Both of those losses. Give me Notre Dame in this one, and they'll find their way in the college football playoff and make a little run at it.
All right, put your thinking cap on here. 12th ranked Georgia Tech heads to Durham to take on Duke. Duke is a 1.5-point favorite. Look, these are the games where I think everybody's expecting Tech to take that step back. They've played very, very well. They're undefeated. You get through games like this, Jake, and that undefeated regular season remains intact.
Yes, they can't do it. Don't succumb to laziness. Don't have the poor me's. Find a way to grind through it. Tech has to win this football game to give themselves any wiggle room to get into the college football playoff. Yeah. So give me Tech at this one.
I like Tech as well. I just think Brent Key, his demeanor has created the culture of that football team, and no longer will they go into games like this a little bit complacent. Sleepy. So I like Tech as well. Just to watch, top 25 matchup, the Holy War, 23rd ranked Utah at 15th ranked BYU. And then this SEC action, it's loaded. Mississippi State at Florida, Oklahoma at South Carolina, Texas at Kentucky. Going to be an awesome weekend of college football. We thank you so much for tuning in to Punt and Pass to get ready for your college football Saturdays. Be sure to follow us on social media at Punt and Pass, at Drew Butler, at From Jake. Subscribe to our YouTube channel as well at Punt and Pass. This episode of Punt and Pass presented to you by our awesome partners over at Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the promo code PUNT when you play your first $5 entry. You get $50 instantly in your account, win or lose. It's yours. Use the promo code PUNT. Play a $5 entry. Boom, $50 instantly in your account. The DB3 piece is live. Joey Aguilar, more than a half a passing touchdown. Chauncey Bowens, more than 44.5 rushing yards. Keewan Lacey, more than a half a rushing or receiving touchdown. Shout out to Prize Picks. And remember, this episode of Punt and Pass is brought to you by Umberto Injury Law. Umberto Injury Law is your first call when accidents happen. Don't wait. Visit UmbertoInjuryLaw.com today. Umberto Injury Law, protecting people, fighting for justice, winning results. UmbertoInjuryLaw.com. Jake, anything on the way out, my man?
No, man. We got some good games. We were trying to hit them as fast as we could. It's going to be a crazy weekend. It's going to feel great. And the dogs are going to roll.
You're exactly right. Hey, we're big time now. We got to be on a clock. We're on TV. That's right. Atlanta News First, Peachtree Sports Network. This is Punt and Pass. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we will talk to you on Monday. See ya.
We out.